Now, as I said, we're moving on to the liner, and well, I've already done the boring part of stamping this out and gluing these on and whatnot, so now it's the more pleasant part of adding the markings and the felt strip and all that sort of stuff, which is relatively simple and pleasant to do. This is kind of annoying to do all these holes by hand, but well, if you want to make a liner with the tools you have, you gotta do it somehow. So imagine we're at the factory again and we're examining this piece of leather to see if it's good, and then we're going to mark it. The liner will be this one. Well, this is the inner ring of it. It's original. I took it out of the liner band right here because it's easier to put it on and it will fit my head better. But the liner band is from 1944 and it's from B&C. So we already know which markings we will need for this one. It's going to be in size 56, so we'll just measure out what size we have at the, well, in this leather piece as a whole, which is 59 centimeters. So we can cut off about 1 centimeter of that and we're good. Because it's 56, it should be fine with the 58. So we just take our scissors and cut off a strip of leather like this. That should be enough. And now we're just going to have to look for these stamps. Here is the Reichsbetriebsnummer for the Berlin plant of Biedermann and Charnikov. I'll take a 44 and sure, we'll do February. That's that. We need a 58 and we need the head size stamping. It should be a 56 if I can find it. There it is. Yep. Alright, that's all the markings we need for this one. Let's check if the ink is still usable. It's been a day, so yeah, but looks like it's still good. So just press it on there and do the first part like this. Then we'll take the 58 like so, put it on here like that, and now the month and year of production. So it's going to be February of 1944. Right, there we are. Probably have to cut off some of the excess lines on these ink stamps so they don't look like this, but I mean it's a representable stamp, I'd say. It looks like the original, although the numbers could be a bit smaller, but I'll work on that in the future. Now on to the next bit, which is stamping the size on here, which is just as simple as that. And we're done. Right, 56. Now we can put the stamps back because we don't need them anymore. And we can move over to the sewing machine. So let's just do that. Right, well, as you can see, we're at the sewing machine now. It's a very old sewing machine, which, well, they stopped manufacturing these around 1943 at the latest. So yeah, this is a Dürrkopf, as it's called, and it's a shoemaker's sewing machine and still works very well, and it also looks very cool. So we will start by stitching the leather together. Let's get this out first, and then we'll just place the leather in there and start like so. a bit of thread here, because then you don't have to go digging for it when we continue. So we'll just cut it off here. As usual with originals also, they often kept stitching up until here. So let's try for size. Yep, a little bit of stretching, this will fit quite well. Right, now onto the felt strip, which is here. And this is really just a very easy operation of putting it on here. Just need to make sure to keep it straight and go at it. That's literally all that is required to make these. So we'll set it here, round about like so, and cut it out. Gotta make sure we fold this over and keep on trucking. Where's the handle? There it is. Alright, we are done. Now let's just cut off the excess here. Come on. Like so. And there's one area where we need to go over again because we kind of missed it a bit. Stretch it out. Like that. And we'll just redo that part. And then we are done. It usually happens when you don't pay enough attention. So, yeah. Right, that should be it. Yeah, now it's definitely attached. That's all that we wanted. Cut it off. Cut off these little bits. And whatever is left over here. So it's nice and flush. Because we don't need this extra felt. I mean, in the factory they probably wouldn't have done this, but since we want a nice looking result, we'll just do it anyway. Like that. And now we have a nice leather piece for our liner, which we do have right here. So what's next is to just put it in here, which is also rather simple once you know how to do it, and also why it is important to take this out if you want to do it properly. So yeah, onwards to that now. Now what is next is obviously affixing it to the inner ring, and yeah, it was rather simple. I just moved over to my bed because it's comfortable and easy enough to do, so we just get out a few of those. And yeah, let's start by making one hole here, because we need to attach the leather somewhere. like this. I'll actually fold it over. Let's see, where is it put together? There it is. Do it like this. And then we will do the next one. Always leaving a bit of space. And this is actually in the picture. If not, I do apologize. And bend it over. Let's do one more on the other side. Around about like there. And what comes after this is the more complicated part of making these, or putting these together. We need to fold this in, sort of like this. Then we have to put the leather over the top of it, because then it will get stretched evenly, and that is what we do want. Because we don't want some areas that are stretched and some that are not. So we just need to be careful. Make sure it is on there. Get out the spring. I need to carefully fold it outwards, like so. Making sure it is on there, because otherwise it won't, well, it will just come off again. And yeah, move it up slowly, and then we just need to make holes and put all of the pins in there, which is rather self-explanatory. But this way you get it nice and evenly stretched, and it will fit the best on your head, because this stretched portion is what actually makes it comfortable. Because if it's just the same size as the well, the inner ring, this one, it will be too big and it will feel hard and not nice, soft and cushiony. Which is also something, since I do sell these, that a lot of people that I, well, not a lot, but a few of the people I did sell these leather pieces to complained about, because they said it didn't fit, which is not true. They just don't know how to put them on correctly. Because it is true that this inner ring is bigger than the leather piece. I think this is like 60 centimeters or something like that. So yeah, good luck trying to fit it on there the other way, you know, where you just put it on methodically, so to say. When you just put on pin by pin and not first put the leather on here, then it's obvious that it won't fit. So yeah, that's something to keep in mind when you are trying to assemble a leather piece, that the technique is important, otherwise it will not work. But yeah, if you do it correctly, it will fit very nicely on your head, sort of like, I don't know how to describe it really. It's it envelops your head in a way, because of the stretchy nature of this goat leather. Oh, it's actually an original pin, I'll leave that out. But yeah, that's what makes it comfortable, and if it's done wrong, it will not be that comfortable. So yeah, just make the holes, put the pins in, bend them over, and you're done. That's literally all there is to it. I mean, you have to keep in mind this was an industrialized process, so obviously there were a lot of people doing this, and it had to be done quickly and simply. So this procedure is certainly doable in a factory. I mean, as you can see, it doesn't really take very long to put this entire thing together. Right, and now we just bend all the remaining ones over. Like this, fold it in, and you will see that there is now a nice sort of stretched out portion of the leather, which gives it some, well, springiness, I guess, which is what makes it comfortable. So yeah, that's this. Now we just need to put it in the shell. So for that I will take my special, gotta line it up like this, and then rotate the spring so it goes in there like so. Now we just need to do this for everything, all the 5 springs that are there. So I have to rotate them up like this already, so it's easier. And number 2. One. There we go. Put the leather in too. Number 3. Come on. There we go. Number 4. That just about was right, because it was about to well, come out on one side again. Just gotta bend it around a lot. There we go. That's all 5 in place for this side. I've got to turn it so it goes up into the liner band. And the next step is actually pretty easy. Just gotta put the other ends of the springs where they are supposed to be. There's an issue here, as usual. There is one that is not cooperating. So I'm gonna move it over the chin strap rivet, otherwise it won't be as easy to adjust, which is kind of annoying. So you want to make sure that that is well, not kind of in between the rivet and the chin strap bail. That's 2 more to go. And the last one. Come on. There we go. Right, liner assembled. We just need to put it back in the shell. For this we don't need that, we just need our hands. Put the split pins down here. And get to it, we'll start at the rear one, because that's how they did it back then too. So we do remember that this was the rear one. Gotta rotate the hole so it lines up. Put the pin in. Come on. Like that. There we go, it's on there. Push it firmly together. And bend the ends over. And that's number 1 done. For number 2, let's check that there's no cracks in it, because we don't want it to break. And let's take the washer. Come on. Kind of a shit washer. Late war stuff, not that well made. But hey, it's original and it fits with the rest of the helmet, so I guess we'll just use it. Push it firmly against, because we don't want this to wobble around a lot. Right, there we go. That is number 2 done. And now for number 3. Oop, don't want that. And put it on there. Right, it is on there. Bend it over as tight as we can. And the liner is in place. And there's not too much wobble. That is good. We don't want it to be tight. And yeah, that's how you restore a helmet. I mean, liner placing was now in a different helmet, but you know, it's the same in every single helmet, so it's exemplary. So yeah, this is how you restore a helmet from start to finish, and even make your own liner and assemble it and whatnot. I mean, putting a chin strap on is simple enough. I think you can figure it out on your own, because you know, you just have to put it here and there and you're done. So yeah, I hope you enjoyed this little video. If you did, consider, you know, leaving a like, subscribing and whatnot, because I did mess around with the YouTube analytics, and it turns out only 20% of the viewers are subscribed, which is very sad. But that's just something on the side. I mean, I'm not going to beg you to subscribe, but if you enjoy the content, why not do that too? So yeah, I hope this was informative to you, and maybe you got some insights in how you want to pursue your helmet restoration. And yeah, I'll see you next time. Bye.